What's going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here to another episode of the Just Spawn podcast, and we can finally talk about every NBA team so far, pretty much in preseason. A couple teams have had 2 preseason games, a couple teams have had 1 preseason game, and I'm just excited to talk hoops with you guys that we are just getting so close to the NBA season starting. Today is October 8th. We are less than 2 weeks away to that October 21st starting night, where we're going to get like NBA on Amazon and Peacock and NBC. I don't know how I feel about all these that we got to kind of flip to. It kind of sucks that we have to go to like Peacock and not like you could just watch it through NBC. So it's tough like when you're trying to watch multiple games, which for somebody that tries to keep up with the NBA and all 30 teams, I flip around a lot between games. NBA League Pass kind of has that quad box I can use, but it is tough now when you got like a streaming app and you can't just use YouTube TV, which I'm late to the party with because last year you could have synced up NBA League Pass with YouTube TV, and unfortunately, we do not have that anymore because the NBA is now with Amazon, and I guess Peacock has affected that, and Amazon's a competitor with YouTube TV, whatever. So today's episode of the pod, I'm done rambling. We are going to just kind of talk about NBA preseason so far, some preseason reactions for some of these teams and players. And I've watched more preseason so far than I've maybe had in my life, and that's probably going to continue to get like that as this is my job. So we'll start off with, I guess, one of the most exciting preseason debuts that we've had since maybe Wemby, and that was Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks took on the Oklahoma City Thunder on October 6th, and Cooper Flagg looked the part of the number 1 overall pick. He ended the game with 10 points. He was a +8, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 3 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. Now, that's just the stat line of Cooper Flagg, but I think you could just watch that game from the gate, and you're watching Cooper Flagg be communicative out there on the floor. He's communicating with all his teammates, knowing where they should be on the defensive end of the floor. He makes literally a weak side chase down block on like the second defensive possession or one of the first possessions defensively of that game. He knocked down 2 threes, which were encouraging, a couple pull-up jumpers, operating out of the pick and roll as a ball handler. He made some really nice passes. Some of them did not result in assists. Some of them were just guys getting to the free throw line and getting fouled, like that pass he threaded the needle to PJ Washington, or there was a hockey assist he had with an Anthony Davis 3 earlier in the game. And man, this guy is going to be really good, I think, right away. It is wild that he's not going to turn 19 till December. I believe his birthday is like late December 2006, which is crazy. And he's going to be like a starter who's going to play 30 minutes a night out of the gate. I honestly like the ball handling. You could still see the handle be a little bit higher than where you want it to be, and that is going to get swiped out at the NBA level. Now, I think he held his own against like Cason Wallace, Brooks Barnhizer, who's had a good preseason, Ousmane Dieng, Isaiah Joe, some solid defenders out there in Oklahoma City. Now, it's not like he was going up against Lou Dort, Caruso, guys that are very physical, very active in the passing lanes. But you know what? I thought the handle was fine to start off the preseason career for Cooper Flagg. He could kind of be a point guard in a pinch. We're not going to see Kyrie Irving come back later in the season. So, hey, if they maybe want to trust a little bit of Ryan Nembhard, they want to trust D'Angelo Russell, so be it. Brandon Williams as well. But I think we can see Cooper Flagg kind of be a point guard. They can run some really big lineups out there that still can space the floor if Cooper Flagg can shoot above 30% as a rookie, like not asking for too much for a kid that's going to be 18 years old. You're going to have Cooper Flagg at the 1, Klay Thompson at the 2, PJ Washington 3, AD 4, Lively or Gafford 5. Now, that's not the best floor spacing unit in the league, but it can kind of give you a little bit of everything. And then you can kind of mix in your Max Christie's, your Jaden Hardys, your better 3-point shooters as well going forward. So I thought Cooper Flagg's debut was fantastic. Another young player that I really enjoyed watching last night was Buzelis. So this was like a game I was more locked into, like for the broadcast. It was the first game on Peacock. We saw the new score bug. It's apparently going to be the same on NBC, which I liked it. I don't mind it. I kind of like having the logos out there. It's different than ESPN's, and we won't know what like the playoff score bug's going to look like. I just hope it's different than what we've seen from ESPN in the past. The Bulls-Cavs game was kind of just like so chaotic, and I kind of loved it for preseason basketball. So the Bulls had like 5 turnovers in the first quarter, like right away. They were playing very sloppy basketball, but some of the passes they were trying to complete, I thought the ball movement looked great for Chicago. And I think they were picking up what Billy Donovan was preaching in the second half last year, playing fast, quick ball movement, quick decision-making, do not hold onto the ball too long. And then you'll get your Nikola Vucevic kind of post-ups and stuff like that. It slows it down. It is fun. Isaac Okoro had 5 turnovers in this game. But Buzelis is the young player I want to talk about, because Buzelis had as good of a rookie season as almost anybody from that 2024 draft class. He finished the season off on a fantastic note for the Chicago Bulls and is a true bright spot for this team going forward. And he displayed so much more in the rookie season than I expected, because I loved Buzelis coming out of high school in Illinois, and I thought it was a disaster for the G League Ignite. He struggled a lot as a shooter, but hey, he worked on the mechanics, he worked on the ball handle, and he looked more confident as a rookie. Now, he didn't really get a chance to shine until the second half, but he ended the season averaging 8.5 points, 3.5 rebounds. And if you look at his splits from his rookie season, he was averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds on 58.5% true shooting, 27 games after the All-Star break. Really encouraging stuff. And he made some kind of eye-opening plays against Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, beating them with his dribble, looking super fast in transition, which I think we saw at times last year. And he displayed that against a solid defensive unit. He was going up against a lot of Cleveland starters. Jalen Tyson, good defender. He was going up against him. Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter, Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell, Larry Nance, Naquan Tomlin, some good athletes over there in Cleveland that Buzelis was able to get to his spots. He ended up with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 7-11 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. And it's not going to be a fun year for the Bulls, probably. I think their over-under is around 32.5 wins. I think they're going to go slightly over that, as I'm kind of changing my win total projections. I'm going to do that on my Sross channel going forward. So I think the Bulls are going to end up in that playing tournament spot. Maybe it's too little too late for them to bottom out. Either way, maybe they get rewarded with that, like we saw in, I don't know, Dallas, right? They were in the play-in and they ended up getting number 1. But I think Buzelis is going to be the big bright spot for Bulls fans this year, and they're going to latch on to him. Maybe like the Caleb Williams of the NFL, but for the NBA and the city of Chicago, because we're kind of done with Patrick Williams, right? It's Kobe White, Isaac Okoro, Nikola Vucevic could be on this team next year. Same with Kevin Huerter, Zach Collins. I think Josh Giddey is I think the contract was well worth it. Now, we'll see how Essegay develops this year as well. He's somebody to get excited about in Chicago. He knocked down a 3 in that preseason game. But I think having Giddey, just with his court vision, his playmaking, his transition play, is going to be really good for Chicago going forward. And I think they'll eventually bring in some younger big men, and he'll be able to get them to their spots, run the pick and roll with them. And I think he's somebody to get you out of this rebuild and help develop the guys with higher potential individually. So I'm a fan of Josh Giddey in Chicago. I'm a fan of Trey Jones in Chicago as well. I think he's a good point guard. I mean, Javon Carter had a good game here. For the Cavs, I really enjoyed Jalen Tyson defensively in this game. I thought he was all over the place. Wasn't great offensively, missed all 5 of his threes, but hey, those can eventually fall. And with Isaac Okoro not on this team, with Max Strus injured, he may have a larger role going into year number 2. Kenny Atkinson was saying before the broadcast, or on the pregame broadcast, that there's another leap in store for Evan Mobley, and that's getting me excited what another level he could go up after such an encouraging year number 4, winning Defensive Player of the Year, All-NBA member. And I just want to see kind of the playmaking from him. I want to see him be more traditional big at times. And he knocked down 2 threes. He was a good 3-point shooter last year. We'll see if he can get even better this year, and I do believe in that as well. Tyrese Proctor impressed me a ton. He impressed me a lot in Summer League, and he looked really good in this game as well. He ended up being a team high plus 11, 14 points, 5 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. Looked like cool, calm, collective, being a floor general out there, getting teammates to his spots, and didn't turn the ball over. Just kind of looked like a seasoned veteran. And that's what I liked out of Tyrese Proctor in March Madness last year, where I was like, okay, this guy should be a fringe first rounder, definitely a top 40 pick. And he ends up going to the Cleveland Cavaliers at, 49, later than I thought. And I think he's going to be a contributor for the Cavs in some way, shape, or form this year. I think Craig Porter Jr., clear rotational point guard. I mean, I don't know what the starting lineup is going to be for Cleveland with Garland out to start off the year. Would they actually put Lonzo in there? Would they put Craig Porter Jr. in there? Or are they going to run Donovan Mitchell at the 1? I think we could see that option, because that could end up setting them, getting a good look at Donovan Mitchell at the point guard position, because maybe one day they go to that if they eventually have to make some type of trade and Garland is not in this team's future. That's what I think could end up happening to start off the year. I like Naquan Tomlin too. He's had a really cool rise. I believe he was part of that G League elite camp, gets called up to the 2024 draft combine, undrafted as well, and honestly has turned into a really good summer league player. He played well in this preseason game, in my opinion. I think he should be an end of the rotate, maybe not play, but hey, get a roster spot from the Cavs this year. So that was a fun game. And then we had on that Tuesday night as well, Pacers Timberwolves. This game was also just insane. The Pacers blew a heavy lead. The Timberwolves, I think, were leading like 7-6 or like 8-7 in the first quarter. They didn't lead again until like overtime. They came back down late in the game. We saw like 1,000 players play in this game. I I don't know. Jarris Walker is one player that caught my eye because he kind of struggled a little bit at times offensively. I mean, he ended up with 12 points. He goes, or 13 points, excuse me. He goes 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 6 from three. But a lot of that was on like second unit, third unit guys we're not even going to see play in the NBA this year on the Timberwolves. And I thought he struggled a little bit. So we'll see. I'm keeping my eye on Jarris Walker because the competition will get tougher, right? In the regular season, you're going up against a team's best 10 guys. I thought he looked good defensively. I really wasn't worried about his defense. He looked good defensively in the playoffs last year. It's just what is his role going to be offensively going forward? But hey, I'm glad he ended up with 13 points, right? Johnny Furphy, I said it on Twitter and I said in my prediction video on my Sauce channel, he's going to be in the slam dunk contest this year. I think he will. He's just unreal. It's like a new dunk every single night. Johnny Juzang, somebody I've had stock in from his UCLA days, had a good 20-point performance in this one. He knocked down 6 threes. I think he should be on a roster. I'm surprised he didn't really materialize into much for the Utah Jazz. And Anthony Edwards didn't shoot the ball great here, but it's preseason. They ended up winning 135-134. Excuse me. Pacers won 135-134 as well. I think like just kind of rapid fire preseason thoughts. Ryan Rollins, I think, could end up being the best point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks this season. He's somebody, at least on both ends of the floor, I'm the most excited about. I like his defense more than Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. may be more polished offensively, but for some other reasons, I'd like to just see Ryan Rollins out there than KPJ. It was not fun to watch Kyle Kuzma in that preseason game against the Heat. I mean, if the Bucks are serious about trying to achieve their highest potential this year as a team, I don't know if that's going to be Kyle Kuzma in that lineup. I don't even mind like Turner, Giannis, Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green. Just have 4 shooters around Giannis, including Miles Turner. And then Bobby Portis is like that rotational big man. I don't know if we're going to really see Andre Jackson make the rotation. Chris Livingston looked good, but I've been saying Chris Livingston could crack the rotation for a couple years now. I'm excited about Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins from that preseason game as well. I think they're going to have a good 2-man game throughout this season. And then what also caught my eye is like Nikola Jovic playing over Kel'el Ware in the preseason, at least in the starting lineup. I wonder if that's going to happen on opening night. I think it will. I don't know, man. Spoelstra, like it just, like I'm not in there. I have no idea what's going on behind closed doors, but it just feels like Spoelstra isn't maybe as sold on Kel'el Ware as the public is going forward. So I think that's just a storyline to watch leading up to the NBA season. We didn't get Kevin Durant's debut against the Hawks, but we are going to get that tonight. Şengün was just so dominant in his 17 minutes. He had 19 points plus 18, perfect from the free throw line, 5 and 9 from the field. There is, I think, a leap coming. I mean, not many players have higher momentum from Eurobasket or just in general going into the 2026 season than Alperen Şengün, who looks so dominant in Eurobasket. Maybe look better than Nikola Jokic for Team Serbia, Giannis for Team Greece, Markkanen for Team Finland. And he was always going to be the number 2 option this year, but like Jalen Green's in Phoenix, Fred VanVleet's out for the year. This could be the first year we see Alperen Şengün make an All-NBA team, and I'm really excited to watch him. It's just an offensive hub. I think he can get better defensively. And now, like, he's going to have way less attention on him with Kevin Durant, like one of the greatest scorers in NBA history, by his side. Jabari Smith Jr. had a really good start to that game. Struggled a little bit after that, but he looked bouncy. He looked shifty. I'm excited to watch him this year. And I never really sold off my J.D. Davison stock. Atlanta, it was nice to see Jalen Johnson back. It's been nice to see the guys that have been hurt, like just out there, Sadiq Bey, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Johnson going forward. Kristaps didn't have a great kind of debut game for the Atlanta Hawks. Hey, it's preseason, right? Like, let's not overreact too much, even though I'm probably going to do some type of overreaction video going forward. The Raptors did play the Nuggets in that game. I wish Cam Johnson has been like a little bit more aggressive so far in their first 2 preseason games. He's been fine as a connecting piece and a role player, but I wonder when we'll get him like being more of a downhill attacker, just trying to be a little bit maybe more as a pick and roll ball handler, stuff like that. But I enjoyed watching Brandon Ingram, who came back. First game in 10 months. I think it was like exactly 10 months going forward. So Ingram, it's going to be a work in progress for this offensive unit. I'm fascinated to see what like the Raptors end up doing this year with their rotation. So Pirtle was injured, so Mobo started. It does look like Darko Rajakovic is going to go quickly. Barrett, Ingram, Scotty, and then Pirtle in that starting five. Now, there are some clear floor spacing issues. We saw that on display against the Denver Nuggets. It kind of looked cluttered out there at time, and a lot of people were just on top of each other. But Brandon Ingram, I thought, looked great as a cutter, slasher in that game, did a good job getting to the free throw line, creating contact, got to the line, took 7 free throws, knocked down 6 of them, 19 points, knocked down 1 3. Yeah, like the floor spacing is going to be an issue, and I don't know if we're going to see Barrett to the bench, Grady Dick in. I mean, you're not benching Pirtle, you're not benching Barnes. Quickly's a good 3-point shooter, so we'll see what they end up doing there. There's a lot of names coming off the bench for this Raptors team. I don't know. Like the one guy that would get in there has to be Grady Dick, I think, unless Jacoby Walter really shows that he can be a better shooter than Dick, which I highly doubt happens this year. Maybe in general in their careers, but I would say that keep an eye on like what the Raptors are going to end up doing with the rotation. Maybe not on opening night, but quickly after that. We saw the Spurs play the Loon Lions, a CBA team that has Tim Frazier, former Penn State point guard, Frank Kaminsky, former Charlotte Hornets lottery pick back in 2015, Wisconsin Badger legend, and Victor Oladipo as well. They also have Justin Holiday on this team. But yeah, Oladipo on this team. He had 20 points. I mean, the Spurs ended up winning by 31. Wemby appeared in 16 minutes here. He was perfect. Hit his 3, hit his other 2 other 2s, hit both his free throws, had 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks. He did have 6 turnovers, but he looked stronger. I think we're going to see a big season from Victor Wembanyama. I mean, that's not a hot take. That's not the first time you've heard of that. I'm just really excited to see what it looks like at the start of the year. I'd like to see more Wemby down low, but I just don't know if we're ever going to see that. I think they like him on the perimeter. And then Carter Bryant had probably his best offensive game since getting drafted, better than any of his preseason games. It's against the CBA, so I really can't put too much stock into it. But also, Luke Cornett was great in that game as well. But a lot of exciting pieces came out of that Spurs game. Going forward, I didn't mention him too much, but Brooks Barnhizer has looked great for the Thunder in their first 2 preseason games as well. He's somebody that could just be that glue guy. I said that coming out of the pre-draft process for him coming out of Northwestern, and he just seemed like a Thunder goes to them. Somebody that I don't think was really on draft radars for most of the collegiate season. That was kind of more of like a pre-draft, like or late draft cycle rise, and he's just somebody that moves where you want him on the defensive end of the floor. He'll attack closeouts. Offensively, he's going to be a bruiser down low, like great rebounder for somebody at his size. I'm excited. I don't think he'll play this year, and if he does, that means there's some injuries that happened in OKC. But he's a good player, man. He really is. Con Knipple played good against the Thunder in that game as well. The Hornets got blown out in that one, but I'm excited about Con. He knocked down 4 threes. He's going to be one of the best 3-point shooters from this draft class, if not the best one. And he's just going to, I think, fit like a glove in between Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball. Now, this team is not going to play very good defense this year. They're going to give up a lot of points. Moussa Diabate got the start, but Kalkbrenner played more minutes. Tijon Salon did not play well in that Thunder game either. It's going to be a work in progress to figure out who's going to be that best center. They have a lot of guards on their team right now. And then one other preseason note, like Dalton Connect, unfortunately, has not shot the ball too well to start off preseason. He ended up going... let me see. Can I actually pull up his preseason splits here real quick? Okay, so he went 2 of 10 against the Suns on the 3rd, and then he goes 3 of 11 against the Warriors. Just not the start you want for somebody that was kind of out of the rotation at times for the Lakers. I don't think Aiden looked great defensively, but he looked physical inside as a rebounder and like definitely miles better of what they had last year in the playoffs. So we'll keep an eye on the Lakers. These teams will still have some more preseason games to go. I'm excited about tonight seeing Kevin Durant's debut for the Houston Rockets, seeing him finally in that Rockets jersey. Al Horford was a great watch against the Lakers in their first preseason game. He's going to play again tonight. I think Kerr's like rolling out the starting lineup like they did in 21, playing all those guys. We get a look here at Sacramento in their first preseason game, Boston in their first preseason game, and Utah as well. But we're going to see a lot of cool names in that Jazz game. I'm interested to see that starting lineup and how much Ace Bailey gets involved tonight as well against the good Rockets defense. But hey, there's going to be a lot of guys playing in those games. It's not like we're going to see Ahmed Thompson shadow Ace Bailey for 25 plus minutes in that one. And we get to see Young Hansen as well play tonight. Obviously, he took the world by storm in the Summer League. So we'll see him tonight here against the Golden State Warriors as well. And I think, yeah, Robert Williams looks like he's a game time decision. So Young might end up playing a decent amount. All right, so this is pretty much more of just going to be a preseason reaction pod. So that's what I kind of did for the last 20 minutes or so. So I might just kind of ramble a little bit about some random stuff, I guess, over the next few minutes here on the pod. So I guess just like schedules for this upcoming season, I'd like to do more collabs, obviously, and get to have different voices and opinions on the podcast as well. I would like to probably continue 2 to 3 uploads a week. Definitely going to strive for 3 throughout the regular season. I know I've hinted at like a big announcement that won't come until like November, or early November, late October. So we could be on the lookout for that, and that may change some plans as well. And I'll update you guys as soon as I do. But continue to do a bunch of NBA commentary stuff over on my Sross channel, SROS on YouTube. This obviously has been more of like a podcast format in that oversaturated market. I did bring back. It's not going to be a newsletter. It's just going to be more of like a Substack, like article written platform that was the Just Ball newsletter that I started back in my junior year of college in like 2019. It was before COVID. Yeah, it was like fall of 2019. I started the pod and I started the newsletter. Both things I wish I continued way more consistent than I did. Now, it didn't help that the NBA enters, like the pandemic happens, and then the NBA just goes on just a hiatus, like all sports did. And I took a hiatus myself. So the pod, didn't really return for years later. I started this in 2019. I don't think I came back with this till I left my job at Chase. So 2024, that's a 5-year gap that I wish I continued to upload the pod. And then I had the newsletter as well, which was always like 3 to 5 times a week. Every morning I was uploading it as well, of just kind of updating you around the league. Another thing I wish I kind of took a little bit more, not seriously, it just really took a hit when the NBA shut down because of COVID. So I'm not bringing back like the newsletter at all, because there's plenty of newsletters out there, and that's obviously a way more saturated market than it was in 2019. Same with podcasting. So I'm going to kind of just write maybe scouting reports, things that are interesting around the NBA, some life stuff as well, maybe some behind the scenes and like YouTube, this side, and maybe goals for the future, all that. Maybe just once a week I would like to do it, maybe twice as well. I think there's some like players that I'd like to do a scouting report on, just kind of building up that portfolio as well, and just putting my thoughts just in an article and kind of helping you guys learn more about like maybe the prospects as well leading up to the NBA draft, because this is going to be another fun draft cycle in 2026. I'll tell you that. We had last year Harper, Ace, and Cooper Flagg at the top. This year, I think this trio beats it. Peterson, DeBanton, and Cameron Boozer. There's a lot of guys on the outside as well. A lot of exciting incoming freshmen like Caleb Wilson at UNC. You have Dami Sarr at Duke. You have Isaiah Harwell at Houston. Just a lot of names, man. A lot of returning names as well that can go. There's like, I think, Jaden Quainance. A lot of guys that could be like center one in this class. We have no idea who's going to be like the best center in the country. Tahad Pettiford, all those guys returning from last year that could have been first round picks. Going to make it a loaded 2026 draft cycle. That's for sure. So be on the lookout for that. I'll start linking that in the YouTube description and the audio description. I don't have it, like, it's free. I don't think I should ever really charge anything for that. I don't know if I would ever do like behind the scenes stuff behind a paywall. Probably not. I think you guys support me enough through just kind of watching like the ads on YouTube. That obviously helps a ton, and kind of going through this in the pod as well. So yeah, that was me rambling, just stuff kind of in the future. Just be on the lookout for multiple episodes once this season starts. Could be some collabs, could be some individual pods, could be some article reaction, stuff like that I enjoyed doing throughout the NBA season last year, and always was just kind of like a secondary outlet for my Sross channel, which yeah, I wasn't going to do too many like stuff that I was doing in the past, because that kind of became my main channel, or at least something that I treated as, that I think I can maybe parlay or leverage it into something going later. So if you guys did enjoy this episode, I appreciate you dropping a thumbs up on YouTube. Sorry again if it wasn't as structured as it's been in the past. Just some preseason reactions. And like, I could have talked about the Giannis article from Shams, but I don't think that really ever was going to be anything new to us. The Knicks apparently called about Giannis. They're like, maybe, probably not. We don't really like what you have to offer. So that never materialized. But that article did scare me. I was on I think I might have been on Twitter. It was like 7 a.m. or 6:50 a.m. when Shams tweeted that. And I thought it was like he'll tweet like a big trade happens and then has like the ESPN article. And I was like, did I miss Giannis to the Knicks this morning? It did scare me, made my heart drop for a second. So that was funny. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a thumbs up on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you can hit the rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, helps the pod grow throughout the NBA season. I'm really excited about this NBA season as well. I think it could be a big one for the future of just kind of everything in general. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.